ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतिरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामे। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 12, Verse 7. Prinihi kamam nrupayan manogatham mattastvamauttana-phade vishankitah varam vararhombuja nabhapadayor anantaram tvam vayam anga shushruma. My dear Dhruva, Maharaj, son of Maharaj Uttanapada, you heard that you are constantly engaged in transcendental loving service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is known for his latest lotus navel. You are therefore worthy to take all benedictions from us. Please therefore ask without hesitation whatever benediction you want from me. Dhruva Maharaj, the son of King Uttanapada, was already known throughout the universe as a great devotee of the Lord, constantly thinking of his lotus feet. Such a pure, uncontaminated devotee of the Lord is worthy to have all the benedictions that can be offered by the demigods. He does not have to worship the demigods separately for such benedictions. Kuvera is the treasurer of the demigods and is personally offering whatever benediction Dhruva Maharaj would like to have from him. Srila Bilavamangala Thakura stated therefore that for persons who engage in the devotional service of the Lord, all material benedictions wait like maid servants. Mukti Devi is just waiting at the door of the devotee to offer liberation, or more than that, at any point, at any time. To be a devotee is therefore an exalted position. Simply by rendering transcendental loving service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one can have all the benedictions of the world without separate endeavor. Lord Kuvera said to Dhruva Maharaj that he had heard that Dhruva was always in samadhi or thinking of the lotus feet of the Lord. In other words, he knew that for Dhruva there was nothing desirable within the three material worlds. He knew that Dhruva would ask for nothing but to remember the lotus feet of the Lord constantly. So we can understand that the incident that happened was with Dhruva was just Lord's desire that he was put into that illusion, because Prabhupada is very clearly stating what exalted position of Dhruva Maharaj. So we don't have to go and ask anything from anybody. Supreme Lord himself can give whatever the devotee desires. And we have discussed this. Lord doesn't give anything that hampers or prevents or becomes an obstacle on the path of bhakti for the devotee. Otherwise, the devotee can have anything in the material world. Whatever he wants from the material world, he can get. That Krishna himself can give. Why do we have to go to demigods? And demigods are also eager to actually give. You are worthy to take all benedictions from us. Take whatever you want. Please therefore ask without hesitation whatever benediction you want from me. I'm ready to give. Why? Because you're such a qualified person. Prabhupada is saying here that is the only, is an exalted position. Even demigods are waiting to serve the pure devotee. So we should understand how exalted this position is of being a devotee of Krishna is not an ordinary thing. Only thing is we have to be anyabhilashita shunyam, without personal desires. That is an exalted position. That is an exalted position, so exalted that even demigods are ready to serve such devotees. So we don't have to worship other demigods for any benediction. Akama sarvakama va moksha kama udaratihi tivrena bhakti yogena ejeta purusham param. So akama, just We have to just, whatever desire we have, we can still go to Krishna. We don't have to go to anybody else. Maitre Vacha. Rajarajena Varaya Chodito Dhruvo Mahabhagavato Mahamatihi Haro Savavre Chalitam Smritim Yaya Taratya Yatnena Duratyayam Tamaha. Great sage Maitreya continued, my dear Dhruva, when thus asked to accept a benediction from Kumera, the Yaksha Raja. Dhruva, that most elevated, pure devotee, who was an intelligent and thoughtful king, begged that he might have unflinching faith in and remembrance of the Supreme Lord, for thus a person can cross over the ocean of nescience very easily, although it is very difficult for others to cross. So here there's another qualification, which is to have unflinching faith in the Lord and also to remember the Lord at all times. Because just by doing that, one can cross over the ocean of nescience very easily. What does this mean? That when we are faced with difficulties, and these difficulties are like obstacles on the path of our bhakti, because we might just not be able to do our bhakti properly. So when such obstacles are there which might prevent us from crossing over this ocean of nescience, all we have to do is simply have unflinching faith in Krishna and remember him. That's all. According to the opinion of expert followers of Vedic rites, there are different types of benedictions in terms of dharma, artha, kama, moksha. These four principles are known as Chaturvargas. Of all the Chaturvargas, the benediction of liberation is considered to be the highest in the material world. To be enabled to cross over material nescience is known as the highest Purushartha. Hmm. But Dhruva wanted a benediction which surpasses even the highest Purushartha liberation. He wanted the benediction that he might constantly remember the lotus feet of the Lord. This is called Panchama Purushartha. When a devotee comes to the platform of Panchama Purushartha, simply engaging in devotional service to the Lord, the fourth Purushartha, liberation, becomes very insignificant. Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati has stated in this connection that for a devotee, liberation is a hellish condition of life. As for sense gratification, which is even available in the heavenly planets, devotee considers it to be a below the wisp having no value in life. No value. Sense gratification has no value. And mukti is hellish. Yogis endeavor to control the senses, but for a devotee, controlling the senses is no difficulty at all. The senses are compared to serpents, but for a devotee, the serpent's poison teeth are broken. Thus, Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati has analyzed all kinds of benedictions available in this world and is clearly declared that for a pure devotee, they are all of no significance. Dhruva was also Mahabhagavata, or a first class pure devotee, and his intelligence was very great, Mahamatihi. Unless one is very intelligent, one cannot take to devotional service. Naturally, anyone who is a first class devotee must be a first class intelligent person and therefore not interested in any kind of benediction within the material world. Dhruva was offered a benediction by the king of the kings, Kuvera. King of the kings, Kuvera, the treasurer of the demigods, whose only business is to supply immense riches to persons within this materialistic world, is described as the king of kings because unless one is blessed by Kuvera, one cannot become a king. The king of kings personally offered Dhruva any amount of riches, but he declined to accept them. Therefore, he is described here as Mahamatihi, very thoughtful or highly intellectual. If Kuvera comes to us and say, I'm going to give you a lot of wealth, what will we say? That is a real test. That is a real test. Very thoughtful, highly intellectual, highly intelligent devotee will say, no, if it's going to bind me, I don't want it. If I can just use it in the service of Krishna without being diverted, without being distracted, then it's okay. Of course, we need money. Krishna Prabhupada said, other sadhus say, no money, no money. We want to receive money with both hands because it is all for Krishna's service. So sense gratification has no value. Liberation is hellish. The only exalted position is that of a pure devotee of Krishna, first class pure devotee. Intelligence of a first class pure devotee is also very great. तस्य प्रीतेन मनसा तां दत्वैडविद विडस्ततः पश्यतोऽन्तर्दधे सोऽपि पुरं प्रत्यप प्रत्यपद्यत. The son of Idavida, Lord Kuvera, was very pleased and happily gave Dhruva the benediction he wanted. Hmm. It's surprising that actually Kuvera had the power to give that benediction, which is to have unflinching faith in Krishna and also not to remember him. Therefore, thereafter he disappeared from Dhruva's presence and Dhruva Maharaj returned to his capital city. So yeah, in this way we can also understand, like for example, Katyayani also gave Krishna to the gopis. So the looks like the even the demigods can actually give us this benediction, wanting if we want Krishna. Krishna can himself give, but if you are going to demigods also, we can pray get Krishna or Krishna Bhakti. Kuvera is known as the son of Idavida, was very pleased with Dhruva Maharaj because he did not ask him for anything materially enjoyable. Kuvera is one of the demigods, so one may put the argument, why did Dhruva take a benediction from a demigod? The answer is that for a Vaishnava, there is no objection to taking benediction from a demigod if it is favorable for advancing Krishna consciousness. Gopis, for example, worshipped Katyayani, demigoddess, but the only benediction they wanted from the goddess was to have Krishna as their husband. A Vaishnava is not interested in asking any benediction from the demigods, nor is he interested in asking benediction from the Supreme Person of Godhead. It is said in the Bhagavatam that liberation can be offered by the Supreme Person, but even if a pure devotee is offered liberation by the Supreme Lord, he refuses to accept it. Dhruva did not ask Kuvera for transference to the spiritual world, which is called liberation. He simply asked that wherever he would remain, whether in the spiritual material world, he would always remember the Supreme Person of Godhead. A Vaishnava is always respectful to everyone. So when Kuvera offered him a benediction, he did not refuse it, but he wanted something which would be favorable to his advancement in Krishna consciousness. So when somebody is giving us, asking us to ask for benediction, refusing it is also disrespectful. Prabhupada is saying. So yeah, if somebody says you ask something, you should say Krishna Bhakti, Krishna Prema. Mm. Mm. Yeah, so we can ask anybody for Krishna Bhakti, so that we can understand. अथा यजज यज्ञेशं क्रतुभिर्भूरि दक्षिणैः द्रव्यक्रिया. Okay, Suresh Prabhu is asking, can you please elaborate liberation? Okay, so liberation, there are 5 types of liberation: Sayujya, Sarupya, Samipya, Sasti, and Salokya. So Sayujya is the hellish liberation that is being talked about. Sayujya means becoming one with the Lord. This is the Mayavad, Nidakaravad conception of being one with the Lord, which is entering into Brahman, entering into Brahma Jyoti, becoming one particle in the Brahma Jyoti. And in that Sayujya Mukti, there is no seva, so it is considered hellish. It's not considered, Vaishnavas don't consider this liberation as required because there is no service. Because there is no opportunity to do bhakti to Krishna. So this Sayuja Mukti is not acceptable to Vaishnavas. But Vaishnavas can accept the other 4, which is Sarupya, Salokya, Samipya, Sasti. Sarupya means having a form similar to the Lord. Somebody might want a form similar to the Lord, which is all Vaikuntha. These are all Vaikuntha, can be achieved in Vaikuntha. Sarupya, Samipya, staying near the Lord. Salokya, staying in the same loka, same world as the Lord. And Sarsti, having the same amount of opulence as the Lord. Now, these are also liberation because this is not nothing connected with the material world and it can be achieved in the Vaikuntha Loka. But for Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradayas, in our Sampradaya, this is also not acceptable. There is no mukti, there is no ask for mukti. The only ask is bhakti. And that is why Dhruva Maharaja is showing, saying it doesn't matter whether I'm going to be in the material world or spiritual world. Just give me unflinching faith in Krishna and remembrance of his lotus feet. Meaning just being engaged in pure devotional service is what we have to ask. Nothing else. No other liberation mm, is it's not advisable. Mm. Even the liberation in Vaikuntha, Sarupya, Samipya, Salokya, Sasti. Even that seems to have some tinge of personal desire that I want to be like this. I want to be near the Lord. But a pure devotee in our sampradaya, a pure devotee is defined as one who has no personal desire at all whatsoever. Even in connection with the Supreme Lord, it should only be give me your service. That's all. Wherever, whatever, it doesn't matter. If somebody gets a service to just clean bathrooms, that is his service. That's all. Mm. So one should not ask, I don't like this service, give me this service. Mm. And this is all sense gratification. We should simply want service. Any service that Krishna is giving, we should be happy to accept. Of course, sometimes, our abilities that Krishna has given might be more favorable in one kind of service, which is okay. We can try to engage in that service also. But if somebody gives some other service, it's not that we'll say, no, 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 I don't want. Mm. I was hearing somebody saying that some devotees, they say, we are only preachers. Don't give us vegetable cutting. I said, if they're preachers, first thing they should understand is they should be ready to do anything for Krishna. Why are they saying that go don't give me vegetable cutting? That means that they cannot be called preachers. Prabhupada said, whatever is required, what is the difficulty? Whatever Krishna requires, whatever preaching requires, whatever the movement requires, we should be ready to do. You should not have personal preference. Like I said, yes, we have some ability in doing something, yes, that we should absolutely try to do because that service we might be able to do much better to the pleasure of Krishna, and that might have much bigger impact. But having said that, doesn't mean that we deny other services. This is also some kind of gratification. So that is about liberation.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Pranam Prabhuji. Prabhuji,
Uh,
just one query. Like
yeah.
the liberation that is being said in this four Purusharths, that is this hellish one,
No,
Sayuj.
all the five are
Okay,
technically captured under liberation.
okay. And the hellish one mentioned in the purport is this one.
Sayujya. Yeah.
And it is only up till Vaikuntha, na? Liberation means you are
Yeah,
going.
because in Krishna Loka, this is all, there's no nothing. It's all just prema, that's all. Nothing else.
That is why Gaudiya Vaishnava pray for bhakti only and no
Yes.
liberation.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. अथा यजत यज्ञेशं क्रतुभिर्भूरि दक्षिणैः द्रव्यक्रियादेव देवतानां कर्म फलप्रदम्. As long as he remained at home, Dhruva performed many great ceremonial sacrifices in order to please the enjoyer of all sacrifices, the Supreme Lord. Prescribed ceremonial sacrifices are especially meant to please Lord Vishnu, who is the objective of all such sacrifices and who awards the resulted benedictions. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said, Yagnarthat karmanonyatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha. One should act or work only in order to please the Supreme Lord. Yagnarthat karmanonyatra lokoyam karma bandhana. Otherwise, one becomes entangled in the resultant reactions. According to the four divisions of Varna and Ashrama, Kshatriyas and Vaishyas are especially advised to perform great ceremonial sacrifices and to distribute their unaccumulated money very liberally. So mainly for Kshatriyas and Vaishyas, these ceremonies. Dhruva, as a king and ideal Kshatriya, performed many such sacrifices, giving very liberally in charity. Kshatriyas and Vaishyas are supposed to earn their money and accumulate great riches. Sometimes they do it by acting sinfully. Kshatriyas are meant to rule over a country. Dhruva, for example, in the course of ruling, had to fight and kill many yakshas. Such action is necessary for Kshatriyas. A Kshatriya should not be a coward and he should not be non-violent. To rule over the country, he has to act violently, of course, when required. Kshatriyas and Vaishyas are therefore especially advised to give in charity at least 50% of their accumulated wealth. Please note all Kshatriyas, Vaishyas. In Bhagavad Gita, it is recommended that even though one enters the renounced order of life, he still cannot give up the performance of Yajna, Dana, Tapa. They are never to be given up. Tapasya is meant for the renounced order of life. Those who are retired from worldly activities should perform tapasya, penances, and austerities. And yeah, one who enters Vanaprastha also should do this. Those who are in the material world, the Kshatriyas and Vaishyas must give charity. Brahmacharis in the beginning of their life should perform different kinds of yagnas. So this is all varnashrama, which we have to do. Otherwise, entanglement. Why we should follow these strictures? Otherwise, we'll get entangled. Mm, mm. Shudras are not expected to give charity. Because normally, previously, Shudras never used to have money. But of course, today, whoever has money has to give charity. Nothing like Kshatriyas and Vaishyas only. Everybody, whoever is earning has to give charity. Dhruva, as an ideal king, practically emptied his treasury by giving charity. A king is not meant simply to realize taxes from the citizens and accumulate wealth to spend in sense gratification. World monarchy has failed ever since kings began to satisfy their personal senses with the taxes accumulated from the citizens. Monarchy failed, now democracy is also doing the same thing. Of course, whether the system is monarchy or democracy, the same corruption is still going on. At the present moment, there are different parties in the democratic government, but everyone is busy trying to keep his post or trying to keep his political party in power. The politicians have very little time to think of the welfare of the citizens whom they oppress with heavy taxes in the form of income tax, sales tax, and many other taxes. People sometimes have 80 to 90% of their income taken away, and these taxes are lavishly spent for the high salaries drawn by the officers and rulers. Formerly, the taxes accumulated from the citizens were spent for performing great sacrifices as enjoined in the Vedic literature. At the present moment, however, almost all forms of sacrifice are not at all possible. Therefore, it is recommended in the Shastra that people should perform Sankirtan Yagna. So expectation is actually the rulers should actually take money from people and facilitate Sankirtana Yagna. And today we struggle even to get one small piece of land for starting a temple or some activities connected with Sankirtana Yagna. People don't want to support. Right, so it's complete topsy-turvy. Any householder, regardless of his position, can perform the Sankirtana Yagna without expenditure. All the family members can sit down together and simply clap their hands and chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Somehow or other, everyone can manage to perform such a yagna and distribute prasada to the people in general. That is quite sufficient for this age of Kali. The Krishna consciousness movement is based on this principle. Chant Hare Krishna mantra at every moment as much as possible, both inside and outside of the temples, and as far as possible distribute prasada. This process can be accelerated with the cooperation of state administrators and those who are producing the country's wealth. Simply by liberal distribution of prasada and sankirtana, the whole world can become peaceful and prosperous. See, Prabhupada is very clearly giving the path. And sankirtana means not just harinam, but also book distribution. So if you just do prasada, book distribution, and harinam, the whole world can become peaceful and prosperous. But for which, we have to go outside our homes. We have to go out. We can't sit in our homes and think that we can do this. We can't. Or we can do in very limited quantity. Generally, in all the material sacrifices recommended in the Vedic literature, there are offerings to the demigods. This demigod worship is especially meant for less intelligent men. Actually, the result of such sacrifices goes to the Supreme Person of Godhead, Narayana. Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Bhokta Aram Yagna Tapsam. He is actually the enjoyer of all sacrifices. His name, therefore, is Yagna Purusha. Although Dhruva was a great devotee and had nothing to do with these sacrifices, to set an example to his people, he performed many sacrifices and gave all his wealth in charity because he was a king. For as long as he lived as a householder, he never spent a farthing for his sense gratification. In this verse, the word karma phala pradam is very significant. Lord awards everyone different kinds of karma as the individual living entity's desire. He is the super soul present within the heart of everyone and is so kind and liberal that he gives everyone full facilities to perform whatever acts one wants. Then the result of action is also enjoyed by the living entity. If anyone wants to enjoy or lord it over material nature, Lord gives him full facilities, but he becomes entangled in the resultant reactions. Similarly, if anyone wants to engage himself fully in devotional service, Lord gives him full facilities, and the devotee enjoys the results. Lord is therefore known as Karma Phala Prada. So if anyone wants to engage fully, Lord gives him full facilities. Please note this. This is a direct answer to many devotees who ask that, oh, how is it possible? And many devotees are also discouraged from doing this. I know people telling, no, don't do all this. This is all too much. Why you want to engage fully in devotional service? You still have to earn. You should have some livelihood. This is all lack of faith in Krishna. That's all. Of course, Prabhupada doesn't say that we do these things whimsically. And for this, senior guidance is required. Guru has to give approval. And if Guru says, then it's done, over. Guru says, go ahead and do it, then we should just close our eyes and do it. Because Guru's words are as good as Krishna's words. So Krishna will take care. So we should not be afraid. We should not have, we should have full faith. If I want to engage myself fully in devotional service, Lord will give me all facilities. And the devotee will enjoy the results of that service. He may make progress in bhakti much more than otherwise entangled in work and this and that and all that. But of course, none of these should be done whimsically. Like I said, underlying this, it has to have the approval of the Guru. It can't be done at any other level. We cannot take this instruction from any other devotee who might be senior devotee. It's okay. But as long as the Guru is physically present, this decision has to come from Guru. As in, the devotee has to express his desire to the Guru, and the Guru has to approve. Only then this path should be taken. Otherwise, whimsical decisions, then devotees fall down and other people see and then say, oh, no, this all this is bogus, don't do this. And just remain grahastha, remain earning throughout your life, remain working. This is not, Krishna is not saying it anywhere in Bhagavad Gita, neither is Prabhupada saying this. This is all just a expression of lack of faith in Krishna, that's all. So we should have full faith. Prabhupada is making a very, very clear statement. Anyone wants to engage fully, Lord gives him full facility. That's all. Full stop. No but, no nothing, no condition. No only if you are this kind of a devotee, that kind of a nothing. If you simply want to engage fully in devotional service, of course you should know what you will do, right? Not that you leave office job and then you don't have anything to do. No, not like that. You should have your hands full in devotional service. You don't have time at all, right? When we reach that stage, we can just simply, get the blessings of Guru and just take the decision. That's all. So this is pure devotional service, having this faith. Any questions on that? Anybody? Okay. Sarvatmanyachyute sarve tivraugham bhaktimudvahan dadarshātmani bhūteshu tam evavasthitam vibhum. Dhruva Maharaj rendered devotional service unto the Supreme, the reservoir of everything. With unrelenting force, while carrying out his devotional service to the Lord, he could see that everything is situated in him only, and that he is situated in all living entities. Lord is called Achyuta because he never fails in his prime duty to give protection to his devotees. See, he doesn't fail in his prime duty to give protection to his devotees. So again, connection with the last verse, we can just go ahead with full faith that Krishna is there. Krishna will take care. Yeah, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Prabhu, I have a question. So the status of devotional service is bigger than bhakti, right? Like so like a bhakta is like doing archana and like all the 9 process of devotional service, but service is considered even more better than this, right?
What is the difference?
No, like services like book distribution and Sankirtana. This is not coming in now devotional service, right? It is something advanced.
No, Kirtanam, book distribution is Kirtanam.
Okay.
So this is all as part of Navavida Bhakti only. Just that our process, our acharyas, our sampradaya is a Bhagavata sampradaya. Bhagavata Vidhi is what is recommended, which is Shravanam Kirtanam. But of course, Pancharatriki is also recommended, which is Archanam. Because Grahasthas are too attached materially. So then the expectation is they get attached to the deities and then engage in that service, and thereby they become purified. But the recommended, we are actually Bhagavata. We are followers of Bhagavata Vidhi. That is why our Sampradaya Acharyas, also our Parampara that we show, is Shiksha Parampara, which is Shravanam Kirtanam Parampara. not Diksha Parampara. So the main process is Shravanam Kirtanam. But to be able to do Shravanam Kirtanam effectively, sometimes because devotees can't do that because of too much attachment, and for them deity worship is recommended, so that they become attached to the deities, and therefore they stop being attached materially. But our core process is Shravanam Kirtanam, and book distribution is part of Kirtanam.
Okay, bro. Yeah.
Okay, not only did Dhruva perform many sacrifices, but he carried on his transcendental occupation of engagement in the devotional service of the Lord. Ordinary karmis who want to enjoy the results of fruitive activities are concerned only with the sacrifices and ritualistic ceremonies as enjoined in the Vedic Shastras. Although Dhruva performed many sacrifices in order to be an exemplary king, he was constantly engaged in devotional service. Why was he doing all these sacrifices? Because not everybody can engage in devotional service, so there will be others who might who were in the lower levels stages. So for them, sacrifices. That is why there is one need for varnashrama for lower class people. And for higher class people, they will come to bhakti. In the Lord, always higher class, lower class means in terms of their spiritual progress, right? How far, how near they are to devotional service. The Lord always protects his surrendered devotee. A devotee can see that the Lord is situated in everyone's heart, as stated in Bhagavad Gita, Ishvara Sarvabhutanam Hrideshe Arjuna Tishtati. Ordinary persons cannot understand how the Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart, but a devotee can actually see him. Not only can the devotee see him outwardly, but he can see with spiritual vision that everything is resting in the Supreme Person of Godhead as described in Bhagavad Gita. Matsthani Sarvabhutani. That is a vision of a Mahabhagavata. He sees everything others see, but instead of seeing merely the trees, mountains, cities, or the sky, he sees only his worshipable Supreme Lord in everything, because everything is resting in him only. This is the vision of the Mahabhagavata. In summary, a Mahabhagavata, highly elevated pure devotee, sees the Lord everywhere, as well as within the heart of everyone. He sees the Lord everywhere means he sees everything is in the Shakti of the Lord, energy of the Lord. And the Lord is also present in everybody's heart, but he is also present in Goloka Eva Nivasatya Kilatma Bhuto. This is possible for devotees who have developed elevated devotional service to the Lord, as stated in the Brahma Samhita Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena. Only those who have smeared their eyes with the ointment of love of Godhead can see everywhere the Supreme Lord face to face. If it is not possible by imagination, or it is not possible by imagination or so-called meditation. Of course, this is the stage of prema, where the devotee can see the Lord face to face. So various stages of devotion service are being described. At one level, a devotee can see Brahma Bhuta, he sees everything belonging to the Lord, everything coming from the Lord. Then little more advancement, he'll see the Paramatma in everybody's heart. Till more advancement, he will see the Supreme Lord face to face. And this is our direction. This is our goal. Where we have to go. Okay, I'll stop here if anybody has any comments, questions. Anything? Yeah, Shashank.
Hare Krishna, bro. Dandavat.
Yeah.
Prabhu, this is in connection with the last purport. So last in the purport it is mentioned stating face to face we can see Krishna.
Oh, yeah.
So that is the last step. That is when we go to Goloka Vrindavana. As when we
here also we can see. Here also when we reach the stage of Krishna Prema, we can see Krishna eye to eye. We can hear his voice. We can hear his flute. We can feel his touch. We can smell his bodily fragrance. All the senses will become spiritualized, and all the senses can experience Krishna.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else?
Prabhuji, in the last verse, we discussed that we have to have desire to serve Lord, and Lord will provide everything.
Yeah.
But Prabhuji, we have to deserve also, like before desiring.
No, that is only in the material world, not in the spiritual world. In spiritual world, there is no qualification. Qualification itself is the desire. It's only the sincerity of the desire that is the qualification. There is no other arhata. There is no other qualification required.
Okay.
And when we
Although,
desire, actually Lord will guide us, will take us to the stage where we will have the ability or the qualification. But there is nothing preventing anybody from desiring. Nobody should think saying that no, I'm not so qualified, so I will not desire. No. That is why I said in materially we should be satisfied with whatever we have. Spiritually we should have laulyam, greed. And greed doesn't have any logic, isn't it? Does greed have any logic? No logic. Just I want it, that's all. Over.
yes, Prabhuji, although you can see your situation is not so good, but still, if you have desire to serve and
Yes.
to be a good,
Yes,
okay,
absolutely.
then we have to like nurture this lolium, na, and have to be sincere.
Yeah, we don't have to nurture. We can become laulyam now. Why nurture?
Okay.
It's not like a
Okay.
long-run process. It's just the heart of the devotee saying that no, I don't want all this nonsense. I want only pure devotion, sir. I want to serve Krishna with love, and I want all the facilities to be able to do it nicely. That's it. Of course, I mean, like I said multiple times, right? We can ask all this, but Krishna knows exactly what needs to be given to us at what time. So we have to be patient. It's not that he's not hearing. He's absolutely hearing. He absolutely knows what we desire. He absolutely knows that it's also pure, but he's still paving the path, right? He's taking us in the path so that we never go back. So he will put us through enough grind so that we become pakka. Even if there is some level of maybe some doubt or some little attachment here and there, Krishna will take away all that. If somebody desires so sincerely that I want only pure devotion service and nothing else, Krishna will make it happen. But he knows what is the path. We should not think that we are intelligent to tell Krishna, saying that Krishna, see, I'm asking you, but you're not, you're not giving me this at all. You're giving something else. That we should not do. We should just have faith in Krishna, saying, no, Krishna is giving. Krishna is giving. See, that is why bhakti at one level is very, very simple. It's simply a matter of faith. And it's simply a matter of desire and faith. We desire the right things and we have the faith in Krishna. That's all. Over. That is advancement. Not how much jnana somebody has, how many shlokas he is able to quote. That's not advancement. In Krishna consciousness, the advancement is the level of faith and the deep desire to serve Krishna. That's all. That is advancement. So it's very beautiful. It's very easy. Because when I came into Krishna consciousness, I was thinking, oh, so many exalted devotees. What will I do? I don't know anything. It is that. Then as I started reading Prabhupada's books, I realized we don't have to become some exalted, preacher attracting tens of thousands of people. No. So many um, they, devotees of the have written books, etc., saying like just to make us understand, saying that one book written by Bharat Bhagavat Maharaj, is it? So which says that even he says that even a simple housewife can achieve Krishna prema, which means not belittling that position or anything like that, saying that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who we are, what we are. We can be a nobody in Krishna in this ISKCON movement. Still, if we have this desire and we have faith in Krishna, we'll achieve perfection. And it's so simple.
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you so much. Thank you.
And today morning, actually, I was giving another class where I was discussing about Rukmini's marriage with Krishna. And, Rukmini is waiting. Rukmini is waiting. Her marriage time is coming closer and she's waiting. Oh, Krishna has also not come. Brahmana has also not come. Wonder what has happened. Maybe I did some mistake. Maybe Krishna thinks I'm not qualified. She's thinking all this. And then Krishna immediately understands, oh, Rukmini is like very distraught. She's very disturbed. So immediately, Prabhupada is writing in Krishna book. This Krishna immediately sends the Brahmana. So that to reinforce, to give Rukmini faith, saying, no, I'm here. Don't worry. So Krishna will reciprocate. We don't have to, we have to just have faith and just wait a little bit patiently. Little patience, not too much also. It's not going to take multiple lifetimes. It's going to take maybe a few days, few years, few months, based on how badly we are materially entangled, meaning it's our conditioning, and Krishna will do whatever is required to pull us out of the conditioning. So if that conditioning we are stuck in is very deep, then it might take a little bit more time. If it is shallow, then we might come out very easily. We might start seeing whatever we wanted to desire, whatever we desire, like that. Is that okay? Anything else? Anybody?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, now what I understand, like initially when you are into the movement, like when you just like it's sukriti, right? Like it's not your desire. Then and then when you get into Krishna consciousness or anything, then it is your endeavor and desire and faith which keeps you going. Is this right understanding, Prabhu?
Yeah, I mean it's it's not, we cannot classify it so simply. Yeah, so one is we could have Sukruti, Bhakti Unmukhi Sukruti, because of which we might come in touch with Bhakti and devotees. But also sometimes totally unqualified people who don't have any kind of Sukruti accumulated, just by the mercy of devotees, they come into Bhakti. Because devotees go and create their Agnata Sukruti. So that is through this book distribution, or when we go out do Harinam, when we go out do preaching programs, etc. We go and we come in touch with people who might not be really qualified at all. So
Yes,
those are two ways by which somebody can come into bhakti. Yes, once we have come into bhakti, then it's completely based on our faith and desire. Everything, whatever happens, is purely based on our faith and desire.
yes.
Yeah.
No, because it's not karma fal
Oh, no, no,
in
no,
the
no.
beginning.
Bhakti is
It's only
independent.
whether you meet a devotee or you go into the temple or you meet exalted devotee. Because like when you were lecturing on this, I was getting a memory back of my spiritual life. Like it was just by chance that I was in the temple and met Guru Maharaj and my
Yeah.
spiritual life. And like with all my ups and downs, it's just the faith in him or the faith in Krishna which like it's difficult.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So like I said,
is needed, yes.
Yeah, coming in touch with devotees could be our own Sukruti, or it could be just the mercy of devotees. We can't say which actually worked for us.
Whichever way, but it's
Yeah. Yeah. So we get, that is the first. That is so Krishna also says that if somebody is a jiva is sincere, then it will happen. So that stage comes only when we are sincere. So it's not like insincere people will not come. So sincere only. That is why somehow or the other we have come in touch with devotees and Vaishnavas, etc. But after that, what we do is our free will, which is just desire and faith in Krishna. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Anything else? Hare Krishna. Anything else? Anybody? Okay, then we'll close. Srimad Bhagavatam ki. Yeah, Kameshwari Mataji, anything?
Something there is a verse in Chaitanya Charitamrita regarding the Lavyam. Krishna Bhakti Rasa Bhavita Matihi Priyatam Yadi Kutopi Labhyate Tatra Laulyam Api Mulyam Ekalam Janma Koti Sukritayar Na Labhyate. So this pure devotional service can never be achieved by any amount of pious activities in many millions of lives. It can be just attained only by paying one price. That is love. Great to obtain it. And if it is available somewhere, we should grab it without any delay.
Yeah, and Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj said, Prema is available in the market for two annas. Prema Pradipa and what is that other book? Narottam Das Thakur. Not Padya.
Prarthana, Prabhuji.
Prem Pradipa and
Prarthana and
Prarthana. Okay, I'm just not able to recollect right now. Okay, maybe
Prem Bhakti Chandrika. These two.
Prema Bhakti Chandrika. Okay, I'm not able to recollect. So yeah, it's like that. So that's it's a very small price. It's just to accept the lotus feet of pure devotees. That's all. That's what Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj is saying. That if you just hold on to the lotus feet of pure devotees, then yeah, it's not very difficult. But we have to have that desire, that intense greed to achieve Krishna. And the intense greed, if it is not there, we get it through whatever means. And the most powerful way to get that is association of devotees. You already have it. Shravanam can actually have that, create that impact, because we are hearing from Srila Prabhupada, who obviously has that quality, and it can get transferred from his heart to ours. Otherwise, it can also be other exalted devotees who are present, um, in this time and place, and we can get this greed. But we have to develop this greed. That's the key. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Mataji. ओके श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, जगत गुरु श्री प्रभुपाद की जय, वांछा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिंधुभ्यः च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव। हरे कृष्णा।